everyone, Keza here, and today I'm going to be doing some battle mining. This is going to be somewhat similar to a video I've done in the past with showing battle mining. This is just like a slightly updated version with a few changes, but for the most part it is very similar. Right now I'm using a gargoyle's pickaxe and just mining in Delucia. So a few things. I'm mining here because it is within a guard zone. So if I really need to, I can call guards and not have to worry about losing my elemental bane weapon so much. There are a lot of guard zones that you can mine within. One of the big changes though, let me actually just show you this really quick. In the past, you used to be able to battle mine pretty much anywhere within the guard zone, but that has changed. Mostly because the NPCs will call town guards real fast. Oh. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, so you can no longer do battle mining anywhere near the bank, or basically anywhere where there's a NPC around that can call guards, because they will call guards immediately and kill all of the elementals that you're digging up, which was a change made roughly 2 years ago, because players kept on training monsters onto AFK people in Aklo and various other places. So I mean, it's just, you know, people abuse the system and then they have to change the way it works. That's all it is. Anyways, so I showed you that. Oh, dig up a few more things here. So I am at a Verite, or it's not Verite, I think it's Agapite, and then it's going up to Verite. If you didn't know, the gargoyle pickaxe upgrades the type of vein you're mining by 1. And the amount you get off of these things is crazy. There's no way you can carry it, so you always have to have this some kind of a pack thing around, or be immediately next to a forge when you're mining. And the reason I know where this vein is because I'm using my geological survey thing. So yeah, this is an Agapite one. If I go down here just a little bit, I'll just do this real quick. You'll see there's a shadow vein. And I'm using a macro that basically double clicks this and then clicks 2 tiles in front of me. Yep, so a stone elemental you will dig up from a shadow vein. And it's not digging up shadow, it's digging up copper, which is the one above shadow. So whatever you're trying to dig up, it'll go +1. But unfortunately you get very small amounts of ore when you go after the stone, sandstone, and marble elementals, because it's very hard to obtain ore from them. And then I have a restock thing that should be going right now. There we go. That's not showing right now, but this guy right here is my there it is, organizer bag 2. I just have a hotkey that throws all ore types onto that pack, so I don't have to manually drag and drop everything. It's pretty easy to set up within your agents. Oh, and I'm also reworking this guy's skills at the moment, if you're wondering what I use him for. I'm trying to get his lumberjacking up to 90, and I'm just going to let it do that naturally off killing elementals and golems. Because you don't get increased damage breaks at in-between points, you only get it at like 70, 80, 90, and GM. So basically every 10 skill points you get +1 more damage. And also you'll see my macro is not finding an item every time. It's because I have my macros set to work for both directions of the gargoyle pickaxe. One can face, this way, and the other can face the other way. So I just have my macro look for both items at the same time, and then it runs in whichever direction I'm trying to get it to go to. Alright, there's no more metal here. Offload all that. This is also the character I use during Halloween, by the way, because they do have blacksmithing, so I take them into Night of Horrors and stuff and do all kinds of fun things in there. So I'm going to show you the prospector tool right here, because this is a good spot for it. So say you only want to get marble ingots. There are definitely a few spots you can get it at, all the Verite and Valerite and Agapite spots, which there are plenty of. But this is a gold right here, and you can use a prospector tool. If you can figure out the spot, you can run up and it'll say, this was gold, but it says now Agapite. You'll get a little message here saying Agapite can be mined there. And so after you hit it and you get the Agapite to be mined there, you can use the gargoyle pickaxe and it will increase it +1 again, so you'll be getting Verite. So there's the Verite. And of course, if you're finding Verite and Valerite elementals, you will be finding the marble elementals. I'll see if I can get one to come up here in just a second. There's the marble. And the ingots from these sell for about 500 gold each. So it's definitely not bad money. If you really want, you can loot the magic items, but unless it's a better type of magic item, like a katana or a bow or something, I usually don't loot it. But yeah, so you can use 4 different ore types to get marble elementals to be dug up. The gold, the agapite, and then of course the regular Verite and Valerite. All 4 of them can get you up to marble if you want, with the use of the prospector tool on the gold. And there's one more. Just don't need skills open that one. Oh, that's most likely going to be silver. Yes. Which I'm actually not going to loot. I have so many silver weapons. Or silver... That, no, that was leftover graphic. Yeah, I have so many silver instruments. They are quite common. Wow. Actually getting more marble elementals than usual for this. These things also hit much harder. Run away. So elementals, the lesser ones like, you know, shadow elementals and all that stuff, they hit much less, well, they do a lot less damage, I should say, than the upper ones. Valerite, Verite, and the marble elementals do significantly more damage than the lesser ones, which is not the case for the golems, which I'll show you in a minute. I'll loot the axe, the sword. I just ID them later. Usually they're garbage, but there's a slim chance they can be something useful. As you saw, slayers can drop from these, so loot the weapon types that are worth keeping. In this character, I am taking some reduced dexterity to have a little higher armor. My armor is actually a little below what it should be right now because it's not in repair. It's normally like 50 or 51, I think, if everything's 100% repaired. Alright, that's all done. I'm not going to stand around here and do too much of the same. I always just use this. Might as well put everything on here. And then I just drag and drop everything so I can smelt it. I've seen some people make smelting macros for this, but honestly it doesn't take that long just to drag and drop it all. Throw away all the extra stuff like this. Just like that. Alright, and put all this in the bank. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other type of battle mining next, which is using these shovels. Let me just get a few more things done. Sell all that garbage. So I didn't kill that much stuff right there, but battle mining is also not bad money just because after you sell the gems, I mean, that's 4K. Between looting the straight gold and then selling the gems. So you can get straight amounts of gold doing that, and then if you want to sell the ingots on top of that, it is quite a bit of gold. Alright, let's see. Oh, I'm actually almost out of iron shovels. So I have a bunch of dull copper shovels. That's basically the same thing. Just a different ingot. And I'm not taking my pack llama with me, because it's really not needed. And so for the shovels, you cannot use them. Well, I don't really think there's anywhere in town you can use them. You have to go outside of town. You have to use them in a cave, typically where you find other golems. So now I'm in the outer world. I'll just do these caves. So there's a golem in this cave. Which means this cave will work for the shovels. I'm not sure if there's any caves that don't have a golem where you can use the shovels. I could be mistaken about that, but I'm pretty sure all of the caves that are set to work, they all have spawning golems within them. So, park my Ostard over here. So I like to mine. The reason I have this location saved is so I can just stand here and then go like this. It's easier if just one of them spawns, because then I don't have to run around. Ugh. After this fight, I think I'll go ahead and repair my stuff. My armor is lacking. And so I do have a macro to smelt stuff in my pack, but typically it only works for stuff in your pack. Trying to smelt stuff directly from the ground, making a macro to do that, is very difficult, and it fails more often than not. Repair my attacks. Let's see if I can't get my armor up to where it should be. Drag this over here. Oh, so that went up 2 points. I'll try repairing the arms and see if that does it. Whatever, it wants to stay at 50, that's fine. So these golems, whether they're iron golems or diorite golems or anything, they all hit for pretty much the same thing. And like I was saying, with the elementals that you dig up with the pickaxe, their damage varies greatly depending on how difficult or how high level ore you're trying to get from them. And if you have a decent enough weapon, you can actually get through shovels pretty quickly here. You can see I'm not stopping to sort out the ore in between fights. I just kind of do it while I'm fighting the next one, which I found is really the fastest method to go about it. And I wish there was a faster method to smelting. I've tried so many things to get a good smelting macro from the ground directly to the forge. But ultimately, it's really not that much work just to put all the piles together and then smelt it. If you have another method that works better for you, you're more than welcome to use it. And then I can still use my macro that tries to smelt all ore types within my pack. But for some reason even that doesn't work 100% of the time. And by the way, the spot I'm mining right now is basically 2 tiles northeast there. Oof. These guys are unhappy. And when 2 of them spawn, you do typically have to do a little bit of hit and run. Unless you're you have parry on your battle miner. Parry might enable you to tank both of them in one spot, but you'll also be doing less damage. Usually doing less damage. You'd have a really nice weapon, you could run a parry battle miner pretty well. Lords, the golem lords do hit harder than the regular golems. And they have a few more hit points. And it's completely random whether one of them or 2 of them spawn. Sometimes none of them spawn. That is with each use of the shovel. And each shovel has 6 uses and then it's done. Also, I'm using a target nearest hostile and then attack last. So that's why I'm not having to really do a lot of retargeting to target that second golem. Just got all this stuff piled together here. I actually don't think I'll go through all 8 shovels I brought. That's just how much I normally go out with. Smelt everything I have on me real quick. Jeez. These things are spawning in pairs a lot at the immediate moment. Also, if you're unaware, if you just click to move these, you're going to have to accept the number amount. Holding down shift and then moving them will always move the whole pile, so it makes it a lot faster. No more metal there. That's weird. Alright. Let's save. How many shovels do I got left? I think I got 4. Maybe I'll just use one more. And while this fight's going, kind of want to show the macro I'm using for these. So right now I'm digging to the, we'll just say dig to the west. So, oh, I actually have it set to 3. So -3 is that direction, and then 0. So when I use my dig west, which I have in hotkeys, macros, so dig with the shovel to the west, that's the number pad 7, and I just hold down Alt and then 7. It's going to dig up 3 tiles that way with the shovel, which is the max range of it. I'll show you that. And I think it just makes it a lot easier. And if you saw, I also have one for every direction, so I can dig in whichever direction I want based on the number pad. It's a useful thing to set up. It's a whole lot of double clicking if you do it the old-fashioned way. I'd recommend setting up something somewhat similar to this. I don't know that you need all directions. I just find it's more flexible if you have not just north, south, east, west, but if you also include the, you know, the southeast, southwest, northeast, and northwest as well. So you can really just hit any spot you want from wherever you're standing. There's nothing left to mine over that direction. Let's see. So let's look at this exact one. So I've opened up my macros. You have to go to, well, this is where mine's located at least. Let's see if I can Yeah, that should work. It is, for me, it's C drive. I have it as Razor 1.15, and then macros. Hang on. Let me not get killed here, and then I'll show you. Because it's actually kind of difficult to make these macros purely off of the regular, just using Razor. I'll show you the shortcut to making them all a lot faster. Okay, so wherever you keep your macros, you just make one of them, and then you basically copy the double-click true, because this is the item you're looking for, which in this case is a shovel. It doesn't matter which type, it's just going to target a shovel. And then I have a pause. Your pause can be whatever. Mine is 0.6 seconds. And then it targets -3. And these are the numbers that are very useful to open this for, because if I make this to go just to 3, then I've made my macro to mine to the east instead of to the west. I'm going to leave it like that though. And then of course if you do 0 and 3, that's the macro for going 3 to the north. So it's much easier to edit all this stuff when you open your notepad and you go and you actually make these in your macros folder. Which is what I did for all of these. These are my digs for the pickaxe, and then these are them for the shovel. It would take a long time to make all these just using in-game and your Razor stuff. Don't save. But yeah, so making it through this window and then in-game would take you quite a while. So I recommend doing it within your files. And I'll just try to use up one more shovel, and then I'll do the next step of all this, which is the actual smithing BODs, or bulk order deeds. Unfortunate. I was hoping to at least get one of those golems to drop something to show you. The golems can drop a variety of things, including smithing gloves, platinum, other small rewards, and then of course the golem statuettes, which are always nice to get. Alright, so how many ingots? Over 1,000 of those, and then you just get small amounts of the other ones too. I'll just take these directly home. And since I got dull copper, I'll see if there's a good dull copper bulk order deed I can do. Since I've never done a video on bulk order deeds of any kind. So for copper, you're not going to be, or dull copper, you could do shields, or you could do armor. You can't really do weapons or anything with them. So I'm going to see if there is an easy copper one I can do here. Dull copper. Wow, lots of 20s. Nothing but 20s actually. So I need to find do I have enough to make one of these? I have the top. I have the tunic. Do I have the legs? That's normal. Oh, I do. I'm looking right at it. Okay. this one. So I have mine arranged, so I have like chainmail, I have my smalls in one, and then I have my larges in one. And these are all asking for 20. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that's going to be the finished one there, and then these three I have as these smalls. And if you've never done bulk order deeds, they're not too difficult. These are the shortest ones I'm grabbing right here, the chainmail. So chainmail, which one do I want to do first? I'll just do this one because there's no fail. Oh, I would probably need to have some of that in my backpack, huh? So make one of these, and then what I'm going to tell it to do is basically make last 20 times. And this is another macro that I'll show you how I made. So I just play this, and it basically just clicks the make last 20 times. Actually, I'm going to stop that real quick, because I have a whole bag full of tongs here. It's just saying click the tongs and then do the make last 20 times. Although now I'm only going to need it about 15 times, so I'm just going to play that one. A lot of macros in here. So make last 20. All I did was make last once. I basically created this section of the macro, and then I copy and pasted it so that it happens 20 times, and then I did one for 15, 10, and then 5. I know other people do their bulk order deeds by just doing an endless loop macro and only having enough ingots to complete that specific order. So they'll calculate it out so that they only have, let's see. So that took up, I started with 999 ingots. I don't know, it took close to 200. So they might just say they need 200 dull copper ingots on them. And then they went ahead and put that on them and started it. I have a macro that instead of being an endless loop, it just does it 20 times, which I think is a little simpler, or 15, 10, or 5. And when you want to combine things with the macro, please don't do this. Combine and click each one. That is a huge waste of time, because what you can do instead is you can click on your backpack. Boom. And it says I need to make one more because I didn't do the math correctly. So I just do make last. And it's going to make one more combined. Do not even look for it in your backpack. Could be anywhere. Just click on your main backpack on your paper doll here, and it automatically adds it to that. So this one, oh, that's the one here. I'm going to move it down there. I'm going to move on to the tunics. So I'm going to do a tunic. And now that it's done one tunic, I'm going to use my macro, which I named the Smith ML. I put it ML is make last 20. Play that. It's not on a loop. It's just going to attempt to make the last thing 20 times and automatically end. And this is a great time to go get a drink, eat something, make sure the kids are not dead in the other room, that kind of thing. Because one of the reasons I've got into more bulk order deeds is because I don't have a lot of time to play. I'm most often watching my children, so if I can just come back to the computer and hit play on one of these every 10 or 15 minutes, that's fine. And I know a lot of you guys out there playing also have children, so doing bulk order deeds or fishing is something that a lot of us resort to after a while. So I thought I'd go ahead and make a video that includes a lot of the stuff I've actually been doing lately. And these don't even really take that long. And combined. Oh, a lot of non-exceptionals. Interesting. Chainmail doesn't have a huge failure rate. Let's look at that rate. Yeah, that's a lot of non-exceptionals for 76% exceptional rate. Oh well. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and say make last 10. So it'll make 10 more. I'm assuming at least 2 of them will be non-exceptional again, but it should work out. This gets a lot more tedious when you're making plate mail. You just have to make 40 or so, sometimes 50 plate mail chests or something, just to fill an order of 20. Just burns through huge amounts of ingots. And if you're wondering, tailoring bulk order deeds work in a very similar manner to this. So if you're wondering about using those, it's pretty much the same thing. And then I also have a smelt, which is basically just, it brings up this smelt queue and then opens a cursor for me to click on whatever I want. Very easy macro to make. And very useful right here. Alright, so that's all done. So this one is also completed. I'm going to put it down in that bag. And then the legs. And with the other ones, same thing. Make last 20 times, play that. You can take this a step further and basically make a hotkey for your make last, 5, 10, 15, 20, and make a macro on your keyboard for smelt, but I don't know, I've never minded, because my Razor window kind of overlaps my game window a little, so I can easily just drag it in and out from where it is. I've never minded just clicking the play on it and stuff. It's not a big deal to me. I know some people would prefer to use hotkeys, and that's easy enough to set up if you want to do it that way too. Oh, ran out of material. Should only need about 300 more. Let's see how many I successfully made in there. Alright. So I'm going to do a 5, and then just make last however many more I need. So this is going to use up, for this whole large bulk order deed, it's probably going to use up over 1,000 of my dull copper ingots. My tool wore out. That's why you gotta have a huge bag of tools ready to go. And oh, the last one I created was not exceptional. No, they're not exceptional. There we go. Also, why you want to click on your backpack instead of targeting around to all the non-exceptional items. Do I still have that on me? Okay, so here's a good thing to have. This is a deed for dull copper legs as well, but this one is not asking for them to be exceptional. So instead of smelting down all these legs, what I can do is just throw them onto this deed. And so that deed's actually full now. I don't know, I'll keep it in case I get a large later, which probably won't happen, but it's fine. There's all that. I'm not going to need any more of those immediately. So remember, this is the large, and then all 3 of these smalls are completed, and they are the type that this is looking for. So what you do with a large is you combine the completed small ones into it, just like that. So now the whole thing is filled, and this large order deed is ready to be turned in. And I'll show you one of the locations I do that at. And when you don't have 30 majory on your character, you will fizzle. So, 1 second. I don't like running around town with a, or a populated town with a Slayer axe on me. It's just not a good idea. So I think, is this, yeah. So if I do order status, it'll say in 6 hours you can claim another one. So this is the right guy. Put the bulk order deed on him, and I get a reward for a 30k and a shield, a hanging shield deed. And immediately after you turn in a bulk order deed, you can also go ahead and claim your next one. So it said I needed to wait 6 hours, but I just turned one in, so now I can claim another one. If I'm doing flip BODs, like if I've done a bunch of iron weapons, just like swords and axes and whatever, I'll just repeatedly drop completed ones onto them and claim new ones. So I'll get I'll turn in 20 weapons BODs and then claim 20 new ones just to get a chance at having a new deed. This is very standard when I just got back. Pretty expected. But that should be about all you need to know about doing the bulk order deed system. I would show you tailoring, but I stopped doing tailoring bulk order deeds a long time ago. Just not as profitable in my opinion. But you can get the mask dyes and a lot of good stuff out of them, so it's totally up to you which ones you want to try to do and which ones you don't. Anyways, that I think is good for my updated video on battle mining and stuff. Remember, you can use the prospector tools to increase the ore type you're mining, and then the pickaxe will increase it plus one more. So you can really target which type of elementals you want to dig up and go after using that method. But that is all for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys might have learned a thing or two about battle mining or bulk order deeds.